Okay, dealing with negatives in powers. So we could be talking about a negative in the exponent or in the base. Okay, so let's talk about negative bases. We've kind of talked about this briefly before, and there's a difference between these two expressions. So this one is telling me to do the exponent, then multiply by -1. It's saying to do that first and then that second. So if I do this first, I get 25 and then negative after. Versus this, it's telling me to take -5 and square that. So -5 times -5 is positive 25. Okay, so it's a big concept. Okay, negative exponents. So 4 to the -2. So when you have a negative exponent, you are going to reciprocate its location and change it to a positive. So because this is 4, I'm going to change it to 1 over, and then now the exponent is positive, and then 4 squared is 16, so 1/16. Next, I'll go 3 to the -3. So I'm going to change it to 1 over 3 cubed, which is 1/27. And then another one would be 7 to the -2, which would become 1 over 7 squared, or 1/49. So if you would have had something like this, 2 to the -2 over 5 to the -2. So then when I'm in my reciprocation, I would put this on the bottom and this on the top, so my final answer would be 25 over 4. If you had something like this, 8 to the -2 over 2 squared, then I would have to move this to the bottom, but this I'm not moving because it's not negative exponent. So it stays on the bottom, and I need a placeholder of 1. So 1 over 64 times 4, which is 1 over 256. Okay, so if you don't like just memorizing things and need to know why this is happening, okay, let's talk about why this is happening. So 7 to the 0 equals 1. Okay, we understand that that's happening. That's a rule. So if I think of something like this, 7 squared over 7 squared, I know from subtraction or division rules that I subtract the exponents. Okay? I also know that the same thing divided by the same thing equals 1. So therefore, those must equal each other. Okay, so let's talk about this. 7 to the 0 over 7 squared. So if I think about just evaluating it, 7 to the 0 is 1. 7 squared is 49. Okay, so I know just evaluating the top, evaluating the bottom, it's 1 over 49. If I apply the division rule, I subtract the exponents. Therefore, if this 1 over 49 equals this, and 7 to the negative 2 equals this, these will have to equal each other. See how that works? Okay, so if I do a couple more here, 1 over 6 to the negative 2. So I reciprocate it, so on the bottom, now I actually move it to the top, and it's 36. If I do, let's do a few things mixed in here. Okay, so what would this look like? This 2 doesn't move. This is negative exponent, so I'm moving it to the bottom. This has a negative exponent, so I would move it to the top. So 2 times 25 is 50 over 9. And then last example, let's go 3 over 4 to the negative 2. So again, this 3, there's no negative exponent under it, so it would just be 3. And then this I'm going to have to bring up to the top, so I'm going to times by 4 squared. So 3 times 16 is 48.